This season has proven that the WNBA was never ready for this level of spotlight and attention.
Is the WNBA hiding something? Rachel Demita thinks so. She just called out the league for a major mistake with Caitlin Clark. You won't believe what she uncovered about the MVP race. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You might think you know why Caitlin Clark got snubbed for MVP, but what if I told you there's a much bigger story here, one that could change women's basketball forever? It's not just about Clark anymore, it's about a revolution the WNBA never asked for.
WNBAPA came out with an official statement. They said, here's the answer that the commissioner should have provided to the very clear. There's absolutely no place in sport or in life for the vile, hate, racist language, homophobic comments, and misogynistic attacks our players are facing on social media. This is not about rivalries or iconic personalities.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a second. This girl isn't just good at basketball. She's redefining the game. She's been breaking records left and right, making plays that have everyone's jaws on the floor. I mean, have you seen her stats? They're off the charts. Clark wasn't just the talk of the town. She was the entire conversation. Every time she stepped on the court, magic happened. She was dishing out assists like candy, sinking three-pointers like it was nothing, and grabbing rebounds that seemed impossible. It was like watching a highlight reel in real time. And here's the kicker. She wasn't just impressing the die-hard fans. Caitlin Clark was bringing new eyes to women's basketball. People who'd never watched a WNBA game before were tuning in just to see what all the fuss was about. And let me tell you, they weren't disappointed. So with all this buzz, everyone thought Clark was a lock for MVP. I mean, come on, it seemed like a no-brainer, right? She was dominating on the court and dominating in the media. It looked like the WNBA had struck gold with their new superstar. But then, out of nowhere, the league throws this massive curveball. No MVP for Caitlin. Wait, what? Yeah. You heard that right. The player who was lighting up scoreboards and bringing in fans by the thousands got passed over. It's like the WNBA decided to zig when everyone expected them to zag. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This snub isn't just about some shiny trophy. It's about something way bigger. Rachel Demita, who knows a thing or two about basketball, saw right through it. She said, and I quote, "This snub isn't just about an award. It's about the WNBA missing a golden opportunity to celebrate a player who's bringing more eyes to the game than ever before."
Was not ready. The media was not ready for this. It was an overnight success with the WNBA, and with that, there has been such a spotlight on the WNBA.
Think about that for a second. Clark wasn't just playing great basketball. She was changing the game itself. She was bringing in new fans, getting people excited about women's basketball in a way we haven't seen before. And instead of running with that momentum, the WNBA, well, they fumbled the ball. It's like they had this incredible marketing opportunity handed to them on a silver platter, and they just walked right past it. Can you imagine any other sport doing that? It'd be like the NBA ignoring LeBron in his prime or tennis trying to downplay Serena Williams. It just doesn't make sense. Turns out, someone's been paying attention to more than just the scoreboard. Rachel Demita saw something in this whole mess that everyone else missed. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. The WNBA thought they could keep this under wraps, but Rachel's not having it. Rachel Demita isn't just another commentator. She's become the voice of the fans, the hero we didn't know we needed. When everyone else was focused on the MVP snub, Rachel was digging deeper. She saw past the surface-level drama and exposed a bigger issue that's been brewing in the WNBA.
If Adam Silver was sitting at that desk, he would have had the right thing to say.
You know what's wild? Rachel called out the WNBA for not being ready for the spotlight. Can you believe that? Here's a league that's been fighting for more attention, more viewers, more respect, and when they finally get it, they fumble the ball. Rachel pointed out that the WNBA missed a huge opportunity with Caitlin Clark. Instead of celebrating this rising star who's bringing in new fans left and right, they're acting like it's business as usual. But Rachel didn't stop there. She went after the WNBA for something even more serious: player safety. Yeah, you heard that right. Player safety in a professional sports league. It's crazy that we even have to talk about this, but here we are. Rachel said, and I'm quoting here, "I think she had a chance here to say, "I do not condone any hate, any racism being spread by fans of this league." She was talking about Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, who dropped the ball during a CNBC interview. Imagine having the chance to stand up for your players on national TV and just not doing it. That's what happened. But it gets worse. Rachel pointed out that the WNBA doesn't even have a dedicated department for player safety. In 2023, can you imagine any other major sports league not having that? It's like they're living in the Stone Age. Rachel didn't pull any punches. She said the league needs to take stronger action against toxic fans. She wants players to feel safe, to know that if some idiot in the stands starts spewing racist garbage, they'll be kicked out and banned. It's not just about protecting the players, it's about creating an environment where everyone can enjoy the game without fear or harassment. You know what's really impressive about Rachel? She's not just talking, she's showing us how fans can push for real change in the league we love. She's using her platform to shine a light on issues that the WNBA would probably rather keep in the dark. And she's doing it because she cares about the game and the players. The WNBA's future hangs in the balance, and it's not because of what's happening on the court. What if the league's biggest threat isn't low viewership or lack of sponsorships, but their own inability to handle success? The commissioner's recent interview might have just exposed a fatal flaw in the WNBA's game plan. You know how sometimes you're watching a game and everything's going great, but then the star player makes one bad move and suddenly the whole team's in trouble? Well, that's kind of what happened with the WNBA, but off the court. And it's way more serious than a missed shot or a bad pass. Let's talk about Kathy Engelbert for a second. She's the WNBA commissioner, the big boss. You'd think she'd be all about protecting her players and growing the league, right? Well, she had this interview on CNBC, and let's just say it didn't go as planned. Instead of standing up for her players, she kind of dropped the ball. Picture this. Engelbert's on national TV, talking about the league. It's a golden opportunity to address some real issues, like player safety and toxic fans. But instead of tackling these head-on, she fumbles. She doesn't even mention that players can come to her with safety concerns. It's like she forgot the most important part of her job, looking out for the players. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so she had a bad interview. What's the big deal? Well, it turns out it's a pretty big deal. The WNBA Players Association wasn't happy. They came out swinging, saying there's no place in the sport for hate, racism, homophobia, or misogyny. They're demanding action against toxic fans. It's like they're saying, hey, if you won't protect us, we'll protect ourselves. This isn't just about one bad interview anymore. It's about a league that might not be ready for the spotlight it's been chasing. Think about it. They've got stars like Caitlin Clark bringing in new fans and attention, but they don't seem to know what to do with it. It's like they've been playing in the minor leagues for so long, they don't know how to act in the big leagues. And here's the kicker. The WNBA doesn't even have a dedicated department for player safety. In 2023, can you imagine the NBA or NFL not having that? It's like they're still playing with peach baskets, while everyone else has moved on to modern hoops. This whole situation is shining a light on some serious problems in the WNBA. It's not just about MVP awards or highlight reels anymore. It's about whether the league can protect its players, celebrate its stars, and handle the pressure of being in the spotlight. The WNBA is at a crossroads. They've got more attention than ever before, but they're stumbling right when they should be soaring. It's like they've been given the ball in the final seconds of the game, but instead of taking the shot, they're hesitating. What happens next could change women's basketball forever. Will the WNBA step up and address these issues? Will they listen to their players and fans, or will they keep fumbling the ball?